Hi.
Okay, today we continue with the MMA terms and phrases. As I watch MMA events, I like to record phrases and words that can be used to describe fighting. And also, oftentimes, these words can be used outside sports arena. So the first one is explosive. Uh, the athlete was uh, described as looking pretty explosive.
Explosive means that the athlete can start moving very, very quickly. Somebody can have an explosive run, or they can have an explosive punch. It means they can go from a standing start to full speed very, very fast.
Which is a good quality. But again, if you describe someone's character or personality as explosive, that's probably
a negative. Yeah.
This person has an anger management issue, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, next one. They describe someone's chin. They say his chin has never been in question.
The chin, that's where you get punched. It's important to be able to take a punch to the chin. If you can't, then you shouldn't be a fighter. And I used to have an expression which was, you better learn to take it on the chin, otherwise you get punched in the nose, which means that you have to be able to deal with adversity in order to be able to be successful in life.
And also someone can have a glass chin, correct?
That's correct. Somebody with a glass chin, if you punch them on the chin, they crumple on the floor.
Okay. Next one is, he is no slouch on the ground.
A slouch would be a lazy person. So somebody that's no slouch, it means that they're very aggressive in trying to get what they want. And a lot of people will be aggressive in the area that they're good at, but in the area they're not so good at, they may not be so aggressive. So it's a good quality to not to be a slouch even for things that you're not good at.
So when you use this expression, he or she is no slouch on or when it comes to, and that means someone is good at something, someone is skilled at something, right?
It can mean that, yeah. It can also mean not to underestimate someone. If someone thinks that they're going to be able to beat someone, then you might answer, well, he's no slouch, which means he's not just going to lay down and let you win. Okay.
Next one, on the exit.
In this case, it means on the way out. So in MMA, it would be where the two fighters are separating. It could also be in a marriage where a couple is getting divorced. So on the exit, one of the married people, they might do something that's mean-spirited because they realize the marriage is over. Similarly, if somebody's leaving a company, he might start to say negative things about the company that he wouldn't otherwise have said.
And also, if someone leaves the company, they can have an exit interview, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, next one, top prospect.
Prospects are your chances. Prospectors look for gold. So a top prospect would be a top prospect as an athlete would be a top athlete, like a LeBron or a Michael Jordan.
And the prospect means a candidate, correct?
A prospect means a candidate, right? It means somebody who does not have, he has not proven himself in the professional arena, but he has very good potential, and they're pretty sure that he's going to do well.
And we can substitute prospect with another word, a contender, correct?
You can talk about contenders usually in a fighting context or in a job context where there can only be one person that can actually win the job.
Okay,
with a prospect, there can be multiple top prospects. They can be part of a team.
Okay, next one is welterweight pecking order. So it doesn't matter what weight category they mention, but the expression in question here is pecking order.
Well, pecking order refers to a flock of chickens, and supposedly chickens will peck the other chickens to show dominance. So the chickens that can peck other chickens and not get pecked back, they're high in the pecking order. In the sports world or the business world, it similarly refers to a hierarchy from the top to the bottom. And more or less it means that the top people can insult the people that are below them, but the people that are below can't insult the top people.
Another expression or another phrase that comes into my mind is a totem pole. So you can say someone is high on the pecking order or someone is high on the totem pole. Correct?
Exactly. If you're on the bottom of the totem pole, you have to carry the weight of all the people that are above you.
And what is a totem pole?
A totem pole, those are poles that are made by Indians in Alaska. I believe they're called Inuits, and they would use them for symbolic purposes. And I think all along the Pacific coast of the U.S. and Canada, they also had totem poles.
Okay, next
And
one is...
one more. There's also henpecked too. A henpecked husband would be a husband who lets his wife dominate the marriage.
Right, because a hen is a female bird, right?
Right. So a henpecked husband, his wife would be very overbearing, and he wouldn't do anything to prevent her, or he wouldn't, how do you want to put it? He would not stand up for himself very well.
Okay, and what would be the equivalent of a husband similar treatment of wife? There is no equivalent, right? If a husband mistreats wife, it would be called abuse.
An abuser, an abusive husband, yes.
Okay, next one, describing I guess a series of jabs or kicks or hits by a fighter. They say a nice flurry from an athlete.
A flurry is a very weak, usually very brief snowstorm. So in the case of sports, a flurry would be a quick set of hits that are not necessarily very strong. So in fighting, like you said, it would be a bunch of jabs. I think you could also use it for football, for a series of short passes where they gained some yardage, but not a lot.
Okay, next one is a guillotine.
Okay, a guillotine is a device they used to chop off people's heads during the French Revolution, and even up until the 20th century, they kept using it
As a best cure for headache.
As what? As a cure for a headache, right? Now, in this case, MMA, it refers to a specific move where the fighter grabs the person's head between their armpits and basically pull. It's basically a chokehold. So the person
and tries to tap him out.
Exactly.
Okay, next one, very slick move.
That would be something slick is something that's smooth and actually slippery. So a slick move would be a move that works very well, surprisingly, with a certain level of sneakiness behind it.
Right. So it's a compliment. It's a good, highly skilled, and
Yeah, Bill Clinton used to be he used to be known as Slick Willie because he was very good at convincing people to do what he wanted them to do.
Slick Willy. Yeah, I like that. And by the way, when you mention wet and slippery, that's another meaning, right, of slick, because you can have a slick road, or you can have maybe slick hair.
The road can be slick. You can also slick down your hair.
Okay.
And a set of tires, dragsters have tires, they don't have any tread on the back. Those are called slicks.
Okay. And the last one today is matchup. The expression was, they describe two athletes. That's a fantastic matchup.
In the case of a fight, it's a fight between two contenders of equal ability, generally with different strengths that work well against the weaknesses of the opposing fighter. So that means that it should be a good contest. It's also used in sports in a similar way, where different teams might have different abilities. In football, one could be a good passing team, the other could be a good running team. So people see it as a good contest. Also works.
It's a good pairing.
A good pairing, right? Also in marriage, where the two have different personalities, but their personalities mesh well together. Also for job prospects too, where let's say an executive has abilities that should work well against the issues that the company is dealing with.
Right, because of experience and skills and knowledge of the executive.
Or it could also be the particular problems of the company. For example, if a company is having financial problems, then they might get a financial executive to come in and try to help out. Or if it's low sales, they might get a sales executive.
Okay, thank you, Tom, and we'll finish today, and I'll talk to you next time.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.